Mr. Gilbert Peterson, Senior Counsel, Chairman of the Board of Directors at the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Cynthia Reddock Downs, Chief Executive Officer at the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Ian Williams, Chief Executive Officer, Tobago Information Technology Limited, Mr. Wendell Mitchell, National Chief Digital Officer at the Ministry of Digital Transformation, Mr. Rondell Fields, President of the Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago and member of the Board of Directors at the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Dorian Dyer, ICT Director at the Ministry of Digital Transformation, Mr. Donny Beachan, Entrepreneur, Founder at Sainsbury's Limited, Mr. Karen Rose, Digital Strategist, Founder, Digipreneur, Mr. Raj Ramdas, Director at Restore a Sense of ICANN International Limited, Mr. Timothy Singh, Digital Transformation Associate at the Ministry of Digital Transformation, Mr. Jordan Lake, Digital Transformation Associate, also at the Ministry of Digital Transformation, the staff of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, staff members of the Ministry of Digital Transformation, and also the members of staff at Restore a Sense of ICANN International Limited, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, participants, a pleasant good morning to you all, and welcome to today's workshop entitled Empowering Men with Digital Skills, Unlock Your Potential. My name is Antonio Fletcher, and I am honored to be your Master of Ceremonies for today's event. Today, we gather to embrace the power of digital transformation and to empower men with the essential ICT skills that are necessary to thrive in the digital age. This workshop is a testament to TATT and our partners' commitment to fostering inclusivity and ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to harness the benefits of technology. We hope that your stay with us today would be fruitful and that you would have an incredible experience as we have a remarkable lineup of speakers who will inspire, educate, and motivate us throughout this event. Now, it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you all Mr. Gilbert Peterson, Senior Counsel. Mr. Gilbert Peterson, SC, leads a distinguished career in the legal field of Trinidad and Tobago and is a remarkable leader at the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago in facilitating the development of telecommunications and the broadcasting sectors of Trinidad and Tobago. Without further ado, I invite to deliver the opening and welcoming remarks, Mr. Gilbert Peterson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies.
Welcome, sir.
I was tempted to adopt the list of protocols, but I think as the chairman of the board, I owe it to repeat that list, if only as a form of recognition of the contribution and the time that the speakers have dedicated to assist with this project. So Mrs. Cynthia Reddock Downs, the Chief Executive Officer of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, TATT. Mr. Ian Williams, the Chief Executive Officer of Tobago Information Technology Limited. Mr. Wendell Mitchell, National Chief Digital Officer at the Ministry of Digital Transformation. Mr. Rondell Fields, President of the Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and a fellow board member and one of my colleagues on the TATT board. Mr. Donny Beachan, entrepreneur and founder of Six Berries Limited. Mr. Karen Rose, digital strategist, founder of Digipreneur. Mr. Raj Ramdas, director at Restore a Sense of ICANN International Limited. Mr. Timothy Singh, digital transformation associate at the Ministry of Digital Transformation. Mr. Jordan Lake, digital transformation associate at the Ministry of Digital Transformation. The staff of the Telecommunications Authority, which I have the honor to lead. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, participants, good morning. It is a warm welcome to all of you participating in this workshop today, entitled Empowering Men with Digital Skills, Unlock Your Potential. I must say that TATT had been facilitating for years what we call Girls in ICT. So this is really an exciting moment for me as chairman, and I'm sure as for members of TATT and members of the board, that we now extend this to focus particularly on men. We have organized this initiative for you young, talented men aspiring to develop your abilities further to enjoy greater success in life. In this technological era, this aspiration must include building your digital capacity to be more creative, innovative, and competitive. This workshop invites you to embark on a transformative journey of training in information communication technologies, ICTs, which are indispensable tools for an entrepreneurial or professional advancement in today's workplace. This event marks a significant milestone in our commitment to fostering digital literacy across the country and empowering individuals to thrive, to rapidly evolve and participate in the digital landscape. Today, we have participants from Canaan, Scarborough, Mason Hall, and Boku, among others, in Tobago. In Trinidad, we have participants from Port of Spain to Cedros, Princestown to Paliseco, Rio Claro, Cuva, Simbabs, Guayaguayari, Cumana, just to name a few. We are pleased with the level of enthusiasm for this program. TATT is particularly pleased to have the support of its line ministry, the Ministry of Digital Transformation, and also the Tobago Information Technology Limited to support and assist us in this event, which encompasses today 2 parallel workshops designed to equip the participants with the essential ICT skills. The first of these workshops will focus on building a website. The second will focus on creating a mobile app. These workshops, facilitated by expert trainers, offer an incredible opportunity for our participants today to enhance their technical abilities and explore the vast possibilities of the digital world. We are honored to have with us today esteemed representatives who will share their insights and expertise. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Wendell Mitchell, the National Chief Digital Officer, who joins us on behalf of the Ministry of Digital Transformation, and also recognizing Mr. Ian Williams, the Chief Executive Officer of the Tobago Information Technology Limited. By singling out these two, I mean no disrespect or in any way to diminish the other contributions, but all cannot now be named, but we will get to know each other during the course of today. Their presence, the presence of all the contributors here, is a testament to the importance of this event and its potential impact. It also underscores the government of Trinidad and Tobago dedication to including all citizens in the country's efforts to advance digital transformation. This we see as critical to our socio-economic development. In addition, we are privileged to welcome Mr. Rondell Fields, my colleague on the board and the president of the Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, who will share his wisdom and experience and provide invaluable inspiration for our young men who are particularly the target of this project today. We will also in these workshops have the pleasure of hosting 2 notable guest speakers. Mr. Donny Bachan, a UK-based entrepreneur and founder of the tech firm Six Berries Limited, who brings a wealth of knowledge and experience. We also have as our second speaker, Mr. Kieran Rose, who is also a renowned digital strategist, who will enlighten the participants on how to build their personal brand and create multiple income streams. which can open up new avenues for their financial independence. The data from TATT's National Digital Survey, that digital inclusion survey conducted in 2021, included gender disaggregation. This survey showed 76% of Trinidad and Tobago males use the internet. However, that data also showed that only 30% of Trinidad and Tobago adult population possessed the basic standard ICT skills needed to do basic things such as downloading, installing, and configuring software to establish connectivity. This information emphasizes the need for TATT as a regulator to do more to promote digital development and enhance ICT skills and digital literacy. TATT is collaborating with relevant stakeholders to identify and develop appropriate ICT skills and training. We are interested in also engaging in any project that will help to close the digital gap, particularly empowering young men who we consider to be falling behind. TATT is currently promoting the National Wi-Fi Initiative in collaboration with the Ministry of Digital Transformation. We have started a roadshow entitled, "This is How We Connect." This is How We Connect is that roadshow, which was launched earlier this month at NALIS in Sandy Grande on the 6th of July and will in Couva on the 13th of July, 2023. We have an upcoming roadshow, which includes Rio Claro, that we are aiming to be on the 27th of July, 2023, and also in Debe on the 3rd of August, 2023. We are also working in partnership with the Trinidad and Tobago Publishers and Broadcasters Association. This is worth mentioning because this workshop coincides with the World Youth Skills Day, a global celebration that recognizes the importance of equipping young people with the skills they need to succeed in the modern, technologically driven world and workplace. By attending this workshop today, you participants are taking a major step towards improving your ICT capabilities and becoming solid digital citizens. The benefits of building one's ICT skills are many. Those benefits open doors to diverse employment opportunities, innovation, and empowers individuals to be at the forefront of the world's digital revolution. We therefore encourage all of you here today to seize this opportunity, enhance the knowledge you will be receiving from the experts presenting today. Let this be a catalyst for your personal and professional growth, unlocking your true potential. TATT and our partners are confident that the skills you would acquire will aid in unlocking doors to countless possibilities. So once again, I extend my warmest welcome to all of you today. And on a final note, I encourage you all to follow TATT and our partners on social media to gain first access to upcoming events and programs, which will be aimed further at closing the digital divide and empowering our citizens to thrive in this digital age, and encouraging all to participate so that no one would be left out and no one would be left behind. I thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peterson, for the inspiring information that you shared with us today. As you have just heard, TATT has several projects in the works to foster the growth of development of ICT skills among the citizenry of Trinidad and Tobago. And this event is just one of many, and we commend all of you, the participants, who took the opportunity to further your self-development here with us today. Please to give yourself a little round of applause. In time and in between time, we now invite Mr. Ian Williams to provide remarks. Ian Williams is a professional with more than 18 years of experience in the ICT sector, both public and private. He is currently the Chief Executive Officer of Tobago Information Technology Limited, leading the charge to digitally transform the island. He is the proud holder of an MBA from the Australian Institute of Business in Australia and in the discipline of supply chains and logistics, as well as a BSc in computer science from the University of Hertfordshire. Hope I got that correct. Mr. Williams's passion for ICT has seen him play key roles in initiatives such as the introduction of STEM training in Tobago and the rollout of ICT literacy centers and courses across the island in a bid to increase the digital literacy of persons towards the digital era. As a businessman himself, he is also a strong advocate of utilizing digital tools to increase productivity, reach, and effectiveness. And this is in line with today's session. So join me as I warmly welcome Mr. Ian Williams.
Thank you, thank you. Just want to make sure that everyone is hearing me before I go.
Loud and clear on my end, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Mr. Gilbert Peterson, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Mrs. Cynthia Reddock-Downs, Chief Executive Officer of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Wendell Mitchell, National Chief Digital Officer at the Ministry of Digital Transformation. Mr. Rondell Fields, President, Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and a member of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Dorian Dyer, ICT Director at the Ministry of Digital Transformation. Mr. Donny Bechan, Entrepreneur and Founder of Six Berries Limited. Mr. Karen Rose, Digital Strategist and Founder of Digipreneur, I hope that I got that right. Mr. Raj Ramdas, Director of Restore Sense of ICANN, RSC. Mr. Timothy Singh, Digital Transformation Associate, Ministry of Digital Transformation. Mr. Jordan Lake, Digital Transformation Associate, the Ministry of Digital Transformation. The staff of the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, Ministry of Digital Transformation, staff also of Restore a Sense of ICANN, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is truly an honor to bring remarks at this workshop organized by the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago and aimed at empowering ambitious young men on their journey in ICT. Firstly, I want to commend the Telecommunications Authority for its commitment to fostering the growth of ICT skills in the country. In today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, the demand for skilled individuals in the field of information communication technology has never been greater. This workshop serves as a testament to the importance of continuous learning and upskilling of the ICT sector. To all the ambitious young men that registered and are present today, congratulations on taking this crucial step towards unlocking your abilities and expanding your ICT skill set. The world we live in today is more interconnected than ever, and technology plays a pivotal role in shaping our future. By attending this workshop, you are demonstrating a sense of eagerness to adapt, to grow, and also to make a meaningful impact in the digital realm. Whether you're interested in web development, using Google Sites, or app creation, using Thunkable, the possibilities for growth and innovation are endless. These platforms provide valuable opportunities for you to bring your ideas to life, showcase your talents, and create solutions that can make a difference in your life and that of even others. However, let me just say that acquiring technical skills is just the beginning. Success in the ICT industry also requires a mindset of continuous learning, adaptability, and perseverance. I ask you all to continue embracing challenges as opportunities for growth and never be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Remember that failure is not a setback, but a stepping stone towards success. I encourage you to take full advantage of the resources available to you through this workshop. There are some speakers outlined within this workshop that are above par and beyond with regards to the fields that they operate in technology, and they should be studied, and every ounce of information that they give today should be taken. All right, engage with these experts, ask the questions, network with the fellow participants in your workspace. The power of collaboration and community cannot be overstated in this industry. By forming connections and sharing knowledge, you will not only accelerate your own growth, but also contribute to the development of a thriving ICT ecosystem. As CEO of Tobago Information Technology Limited, I state that we are committed to supporting young talent throughout Trinidad and Tobago. I believe by investing in our youth, we can build a brighter future for all. I encourage you all to stay hungry, continue seeking knowledge, and embrace every opportunity that comes your way. It will be remiss of me not to mention briefly some undertakings of Tobago Information Technology Limited, along the lines of training, and today I'll focus on the youth. TITL has commenced its Young Innovators Camp 2023, a 6-week training course, and it's split in 2 parts, in STEM disciplines of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It is geared to expose at least 150 participants in the age groups of 7 to 10 and 11 to 15 in topics such as programming and coding, animation, electronics, and drones and robotics. And these are offered all in hands-on methods towards final outputs at the end of your 3-week stint. Additionally, TITL is to launch on Tuesday, 18th of July, an ICT community caravan in 6 communities throughout Tobago. These camps are specifically designed for young individuals 7 to 11, and it is free of charge to provide meaningful exposure to the world of technology, which is becoming exceedingly important and intertwined with our everyday lives. Our aim is to ignite the spark of creativity, innovation, and technologically driven thinking among youths of the island. The areas targeted for this program are those identified in the Telecommunication Authority of Trinidad and Tobago's National Digital Inclusion Survey 2021, as referenced by the chairman a while ago. As communities, there are some communities that do require intervention within there. And we also focus specifically on the northern rural communities in this first phase of our program. Areas such as Lansome, Castara, Moriah, Lake Oto, Golden Lane, and even Charlottesville. In closing, I want to once again express my gratitude to all of the sponsors, the Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, the Ministry of Digital Transformation, Restore a Sense of ICANN RSC, and Tobago Information Technology for their efforts towards organizing this workshop and providing this invaluable platform for growth. To the ambitious young men in attendance, I say, believe in yourself, nurture your talents, and let your passion for ICT drive you towards success. Thank you, and best wishes for a fruitful and inspiring workshop. And I also look forward to some innovative and exciting projects coming out of today's workshop. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Williams, for your enlightening remarks. The commitment of TITL to the development of ICT skills is incredibly empowering. Thank you again, Mr. Williams. Following closely is the Ministry of Digital Transformation team, and they will now present their featured address via the following personnel. Mr. Wendell Mitchell, National Chief Digital Officer of the Ministry of Digital Transformation. He has extensive knowledge and experience in IT governance, digital transformation, cybersecurity, agile development, and strategic planning through his work in a variety of industries, including telecommunications, finance, and aviation. He will be followed by Mr. Dorian Dyer, ICT Director at the Ministry. Dorian Dyer is a formally trained software engineer and management professional with over 25 years of experience in the field, the last 5 of which has been spent in the public service. At the Ministry of Digital Transformation, he leads a team of young ICT professionals driving digital transformation both within the ministry and for the wider nation. Then, 2 energetic young men with excellent academic records will speak. First, Mr. Timothy Singh, followed by Mr. Jordan Lake, both of whom are digital transformation associates employed by the NDT. They both have a strong passion for ICTs and a fierce commitment to software development, computer programming, and design. I love that this is a nice mixture of experience and youth. So now please join me as we welcome to the floor the team from the Ministry of Digital Transformation to deliver their featured address.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher, and a special welcome to a special good morning to Chairman Gilbert Peterson, who I'd normally meet in another place on a Saturday, and your CEO, Cynthia Reddock-Downs, and all protocols observed to a wonderful and inspirational list of presenters. It's really a pleasure to be among such an inspirational list of presenters, and congratulations to TATT for assembling an impressive lineup of men to inspire all young men joining us on this platform to pursue careers in ICT. You'd have just heard from Mr. Ian Williams, who's not only someone to look up to career-wise and for what he's achieved, but when you see him in person, you'll have no choice but to look up to him. At the Ministry of Digital Transformation, our mandate is a new way to address the end-to-end consumption and delivery of goods and services to customers using appropriate digital technology. And we are doing that using 3 pillars: a digital society where we are looking to create digitally literate people who will all be able to access ICT. And TATT is a very important part of this in ensuring that bandwidth and access to internet is universal. And of course, there are things like making sure you have the appropriate skills to use the computer safely and securely. Then the other pillar that we have is our digital economy pillar, where we are creating an ecosystem to encourage people to get careers in ICT, form companies. You want to hear the next big startup coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. That's a digital economy pillar. And we hope that some of the young men who get inspired today may be some of our wonderful Googles in the future, bring out wonderful digitally enabled companies. And the third pillar being digital government, where we create better and more efficient services for a more agile government. So our aim at the ministry is to have as many of the digital services we use and consume to make our lives easier, simpler, easier, and safer as citizens. Make as many of those services we consume be built by TNT, for TNT and the world. We want to export IT talent. We don't want to import IT talent or buy IT talent. And it gives me great pleasure to demonstrate this rather than talk about it theoretically by introducing 2 men who exemplify this vision, Timothy Singh and Jordan Lake, who do this under the inspirational leadership of our Director of IT, Dorian Dyer. They will share about the initiatives that we have implemented in the Ministry of Digital Transformation to foster participation of men in ICT. And I hope in so doing, it will inspire many to join in and have careers in ICT as well. So on to you, gentlemen. The show is yours.
Dorian, muted. Yeah, Mr. Doran.
Still not hearing you, Mr. Dyer.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so good morning. My name is Dorian Dyer, and I'm the ICT Services and Solution Development Teams Lead for the Ministry of Digital Transformation.
Hi, my name is Tim Motibanzi, and I'm a Digital Transformation Associate attached to the Ministry of Digital Transformation within ICT Services.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jordan. I'm also a Digital Transformation Associate, and I work on the Ministry's Solution Development team.
Okay, so we're all very excited to be with you today, and we hope you're equally as excited to be part of this unique experience, the first men-focused ICT event in TNT, and hopefully the first of many more to come. Your just being here means that you've decided to be part of the digital revolution that is already sweeping over TNT. And at the MDT, we're definitely here for it. Now, I understand there are just about 100 or so participants, and the average age range is between 18 and 35, with a few even younger. Now, why is that important to us? Well, it might surprise you to know that somewhere around 30% of the staff at the ministry are actually under the age of 30. It's a strange statistic for a public service organization, right? Let alone a government ministry. But you see, we understand that you, the later millennials and Gen Zs, are the ones who have to take the reins to carry the nation into the future. And we just love the way your young minds work. New approaches to problem solving, a willingness to adopt and adapt technology, an almost infinite well of ideas, and a fearlessness to question the status quo. And at the MDT, we're leveraging and nurturing all of that with a shift from the traditional directive approach, where we say we're older, we're more experienced, and this is how it's done, to a more consultative, guiding, and mentoring approach with our young team members.
You know, Dorian, I'm actually glad you mentioned mentoring, because I had the opportunity to experience this firsthand, both being a mentor and a mentee. So I would have first entered the Ministry of Digital Transformation straight out of university at the age of 23. And at first I would have learned the ropes, the basics from more senior ICT staff and things like setting up computers and IT support. And over time I would have gained, more experience in it and was eventually able to handle tasks like that on my own. And since then, we have gotten several young interns, most of which straight up secondary school, working in the ministry. And I have had the honor of mentoring them and guiding them along. It was really great to see how the interns learned and gained their skills over time. And in fact, now me being 25 years, having spent 2 years in the MPC, by mentoring, I have actually gotten to refine what I was taught. And as a result, I get to expand my knowledge as well. But I want to mention that one main thing I saw in all of these interns was that attitude that they always had, wanting to learn more within the field. And I really think that this attitude is what allowed them to learn and pick up on very technical tasks quickly.
And that's such a great point, Tim. Training is just one thing, but the key challenge that you will face as young IT professionals is confidence. Confidence that others will have in your ability and your own confidence in yourselves. And that's where the right attitude comes in. You need to have that can-do attitude. You have to be willing to learn, eager to contribute. Be ready to get up, show up, and be counted every day, to try and not be afraid to fail, go off, do that research, and come back and try it again. That's how you build the confidence. And that's how you get others to develop that confidence in you. And of course, along with that good attitude, there's always the need for continuous learning, as Tim mentioned, that he's still learning. And I'm not just talking about formal degrees, self-paced training, short courses, online fora, internships. Yeah. All of those are things that are important, because this ICT space is a vast but very accessible ocean, and anyone can find their niche.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Dorian. I did a degree in electrical and computer engineering, which usually involves like circuitry and industry plant systems, but I've always been passionate about programming. So what I did a numerous amount of online courses and learned modern digital technologies to build like websites and applications. And now being part of the ministry, I'm not doing work directly related to engineering, but more developing systems and dabbling in topics like computer vision, biometrics, doing server operations, and I'm with a team of young developers, some even younger than me, and I'm 25. Um, I really didn't think I would be using all these modern tools at this age and learning all these industry practices, but I'm really enjoying my experience. Despite being self-trained, I was able to do something which I was passionate about, and I'm always continuously furthering my growth.
Great. And in fact, I think most of the team is like that. They study something that was only remotely related to what they're doing now. And they're doing some pretty amazing things right now.
Yeah, Dorian, I can relate to that a lot. I actually studied computer science at university, but a lot of what I do now actually goes beyond computer science and programming. By being inside the industry, you gain a great insight to how wide and broad IT is and all the aspects of IT. It's not all just networking and development, but I've gained experience in many technical tasks, such as the configuration of hardware and servers and firewalls as well. And I did do some development too. I was fortunate to be part of the team that developed the website for the Ministry of Digital Transformation, mdt.gov.tt. It's currently live and it has been active for the past year. And many other things as well. I'm heavily involved in IT support on the daily. And I think this is actually a very important thing. It really helps you learn about the concept of service delivery. Proper service delivery and how to deal with customers is actually like a skill, a very important skill, and it's transferable to things even beyond IT. If you look into entrepreneurship and doing your own business and stuff like that. But also another project that I just want to mention that I was part of is the ICT Access Center project. And I was involved in this for most of last year, and I was really involved in the configuration and deployment and assembling of ICT equipment to these centers. And touching on Dorian's earlier points, I did a degree based on software, so it was really amazing to see what I could accomplish without any formal training. Just having to learn and figure out things. So right now I'm actually at the Lisa's Gardens ICT Access Center, which was actually the second access center that I had the opportunity to work on with the first day in Belmont. And last year we were able to outfit 7 centers in 6 months, which I think is really amazing. And a great example of how broad and wide the field of ICT is, and the concepts of how you can configure hardware and software and networking, cybersecurity and service delivery. All of those you can see meshed together and are in operation at our access centers.
Okay, and that brings me to one of the many ways that the MDT is helping to support this digital revolution. And our ICT access centers are a critical component in that it assists in bridging that digital divide. We want to ensure that everyone in every community has access to technology, access to internet, and access to training. And right now, there are 8 access centers opened across Trinidad, open to the public, with 8+ more due to be opened by the end of August. Our goal is to ultimately have about 100 centers opened across Trinidad and Tobago, and most of those are already in the works. And those centers will also be used as training facilities for a national digital skills program, We Learn TT, that is soon to drop within the next 2 weeks. You'll see a lot of buzz about that. In fact, we've started the buzz already on social media. So those are some of the things to look forward to.
Oh, and Dorian, not to mention the Developers Hub program, which is another opportunity to give these young aspiring devs the tools they need to grow their skills, participate in challenges, to earn for their skills, and even in the future launch their own business. You can sign up by going to the website thehub.mdt.gov.tt and just clicking register at the top of the page, filling out the registration form and following the instructions provided.
Yep, that's another great one. So where does this take us and where does this take you? What should you do next? Get and stay connected. Bookmark our website, like and follow us on social media. Do the same for TATT, for RSC, for TITL. If you're interested in getting into software development, go register on DHub. If you're looking to just build digital skills, check us out when We Learn TT drops in a couple of weeks, right? Watch this space for all the new developments and exciting opportunities that are yet to come. And with that, we hope you have a productive and very inspiring day today. Thank you very much for having us.
Truly inspiring from these young men. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a virtual round of applause to our esteemed speakers for their valuable contributions to this morning's opening ceremony. The key takeaway from me is be willing to learn and never give up. Truly insightful and empowering from the MDT team. Round of applause to them again. Next, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Rondell Fields, the president of the Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and a member of the board of directors at TATT. Mr. Fields will share his invaluable insight with us today, which will undoubtedly inspire us to unlock our true potential. Help me as I welcome to you, Mr. Rondell Fields.
Thank you for that astounding welcome. I mean, first of all, I must say all protocols observed. I must say greetings to our chair, Mr. Gilbert Peterson, CEO at TATT, Ms. Redoc Dongs, and all other protocols involved. And I mean, I am so happy to see what's going on here today. You all have no idea why I'm so happy to see what's going on here today. I have to commend TATT tremendously for seeing the value in men, boy. And I want you young men to focus. I want you to listen to everything that I have to say. I have been to the trenches. I've seen young men struggle. I've seen young men want opportunity, young men clamor for opportunity, young men willing to learn and not having opportunity provided to them. And I have to give TATT a round of applause, the staff at TATT a round of applause for creating a chance and an opportunity for so many young men to better themselves. I want you young men to take today seriously. And it doesn't matter if your mother forced you to be here, your father forced you to be here, somebody sent you the link and you decide just to register because you had nothing better to do. I want you to focus today because I want you to be able to access this opportunity that you have. And they say the best way to motivate people is to always share your testimony. I am most known by everybody else for being the president of the Fathers Association. However, I am the owner of Millennium Auto Dealership and the vice president of the Trinidad and Tobago Automotive Dealers Association. And I would have left school the first time that I did CXC, that is, with next to nothing when it came to passes. My mother, who was a brilliant teacher, I mean, she was ashamed at some point in time that this son that she invested so much went to school and didn't take full advantage of his opportunity that he had there. But that failure in my life taught me something. It showed me that I took 5 years of schooling, knowing that I had the capability, knowing I had the intelligence, knowing to myself that if I wanted to excel in academia, that I for certainly would have been able to do so. But I decided not to do it. I allowed that opportunity to pass me by. And it wasn't until I got those results, because in the back of my mind, I still thinking I bright, I go in and mash up that. But it wasn't until reality hit and I realized that I reaped the reward of my behavior that I realized that I could never let another opportunity pass me. And at the time, many people ask me, like, how you got involved in the foreign news business straight out of school? It didn't have a pass, it didn't have a dollar. It was because I took advantage of an opportunity. So when I saw this whole ICT thing being developed, I said, oh gosh, Mr. Dongs, I am glad for the opportunity to speak. Reason being, That is exactly what helped me. At that time, it was computer literacy, so to speak. Coming out of school, in those days, we just had the internet in 2000. Yes, I'm 38 years of age. I am no little boy. And many a person in the industry, the foreign news industry, which had grown very popular at that point in time, didn't know how to use a computer. They didn't know how to send an email. They didn't know how to check our website. They didn't know anything. They had to fly to Japan to buy cars. But me coming out of school, and I love the gentleman who talk about of being self-taught, going on and learning things, teaching themselves things. That's exactly how I became computer literate, just from communication in those days on messaging platforms like ICQ in those days, like MSN Messenger. Gave me the opportunity to being familiar with search engines when I was looking for things in school in Form 5 on the computer. These are the tools that I was able to utilize after school to search for vehicles, locate vehicles in Japan, send messages via ICQ, send messages via MSN Messenger, so that guys who were established and who had capital, something that I didn't have, had to come to me to help them import cars into this country. Based on that premise, I was able to acquire savings and savings, income, and it turned into savings, and it turned into capital, and it became my platform for expenditure to be able to develop my own business. As I said, at the age of 26 to now, I am now the vice president of the entire Foreign News Association, the youngest ever elected. So I want you all to realize, based on what I just told you, sometimes preparing yourself and taking advantage of an opportunity will change your life. I came from nothing. My mother, all she had at that point in time was some education that she could put into my mind. And she did the best at it. But it wasn't until I had to fail to learn, to understand the value of taking advantage of opportunity, I was able to do so and succeed. And after succeeding as a businessman, I decided to go back at CXC, just to show CXC that I had the academic capability to triumph over it also. And from there, accolades came. I'm even a board director, as I hear, on the Telecommunication Authority today. So I want to leave that with you young men, that no matter what your circumstances, no matter if you come from a single mother-led home, you come from a low-income home, you come from a home where you don't have things easily accessible or available, always take advantage of opportunity. I always tell my sons that you cannot catch rain unless you have a barrel, a bucket, or a basin prepared and waiting for it. So I want you all today to take advantage of this opportunity. Don't think it came easily. Men in our society, unfortunately, sometimes don't get these opportunities made so easily available to them. And that is why I will sing praises to the Telecommunication Authority for making such a bold statement that even young boys and young men need assistance too, need help too. We've seen what's taking place in our society. Young boys 19 and 17 joining gangs and getting gunned down. 605 men died last year. 605 persons, sorry. Out of that, 550 were men. 550 out of 605 murdered. The jails are filled with men. The ones who are underperforming academically in school are males as well. So take advantage of this opportunity, young men, that has been given to you, because it could very well be your last. So once again, enjoy your day, focus on everything being taught, everything being said, because it will be the tool to change your life forever. Blessings and thanks to all of you.
Mr. Fields never disappoints. Thank you, Mr. Fields, for keeping it real, as always, and for your inspirational words. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give each of our valued speakers another round of applause. Yes, they deserve it. Their presence and words have set the stage for an engaging and enriching day ahead, where we will delve into various ICT skills that will aid us in unlocking our potential in the digital world. We hope that each of you will leave this workshop, with new knowledge, skills, and a renewed sense of empowerment. Once again, thank you all for being here today. Let's make the most of this event and embrace the power of ICT skills to unlock our potential. This brings us to the end of the opening ceremony. But before we dive into the first training session, which will be led by Mr. Karen Rose, we are asking all participants, to turn on their cameras in order to host the capture of several photos. This is a memorable day, so we're asking you to turn your cameras on so that we can capture this moment. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. So we will be taking the shot in multiple screens. So you will be on for like a minute. So we would appreciate some smiles, gentlemen. All right, so if during the shots we can avoid chatting also so that the chat doesn't come up on the shot. So we go again. It's 120 plus participants, so it's multiple screens, so you gotta bear with us a bit. Almost there. So keep up the smiles. Just got one more to do. Nice. Thank you very much. Mr. Fletcher, back over to you.
Thank you so much, Raj. We want to thank you all for participating in the photo call, and I'm sure you will be so happy to see yourself in the future pictures that will be shared with you. So as promised, now we have Mr. Karen Rose, who is the host of one of the top business podcasts in the Caribbean called Digipreneur FM. And he will be showing you how you can develop your brand to create multiple streams of revenue. Yes, the moolah. He is also the host of the radio show The Digital World on Freedom 106.5 FM and a column writer for both the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday and the Jamaica Observer. Mr. Rose is also an advisor for the digital marketing program at the University of Southern Florida. He has worked with companies across the Caribbean such as Flow, Digicel, B-Mobile, Huawei, Sagicor, Scotiabank, Eastern Credit Union, FCB, WePay, and Loop Caribbean. His goal is to constantly create educational content and programs that push Caribbean entrepreneurs to navigate the digital age. And not only that, he wants us to participate in the global economy in so doing. So please join me as we welcome Mr. Rose, the facilitator of our first training session. Karen, over to you.
Hey! Thank you, Mr. Fletcher, for such a warm introduction. And TATT, this is really a monumental moment because you know what? We need to have more workshops like this. There are so many ways for men of the Caribbean to build in a digital space. And what I love about working in the digital space is that you're no longer limited to opportunities just in one country. You're hearing an accent. So let me get it out the way. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago and I left when I was about 2 months old. And I lived in Toronto, Canada until I was about 28. And then I decided, you know what? I'm fed up with the cold. I want a change of pace. And I decided to move to Trinidad. And honestly, it's been one of the best decisions that I've ever made because I know as much as people are thinking there's no opportunities and they have to leave, there are so many opportunities because we have so many challenges in Trinidad and Tobago. And to somebody who is in business, a business is in business to solve a problem. So all the challenges that you see in Trinidad are nothing but opportunities to somebody who is enterprising and willing to do something about it. So my presentation is actually one of my favorite topics to talk about because it revolves around learning how to build a brand around something you love to do, even if it's something traditional. And in my presentation, you're going to see how I take a traditional job and bring it into the digital space. But then also, after you've built that brand, how do we go about creating more revenue streams within that brand? Most people tend to think that if you have to make more money, that means you got to get more jobs. Maybe you have to work 2 jobs or 3 jobs and, do something on the side, but not necessarily. If you learn how to create digital revenue streams and see what types of opportunities are out there, you're going to see how you could just build your brand, but also create multiple streams of income within that brand. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we can get this party started. If you are tuned in and you are ready, please jump in the chat and type you're ready. Let me know in the chat if you are ready. It's a nice two-way conversation. Make sure your hands are ready for the chat so you can ask your questions. Make sure you have your notepads ready. Make sure you have your water. I have my water too, because you don't want to miss a word of what we are about to talk about. If you want to make money, this is the presentation for you. So I'm seeing Don Ross says ready, Robert ready, Selena ready. Yeah, the readies are coming in. All right, good. Let me get the show on the road, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen. Lovely. All right. And let me just get the chat window open. Beautiful. Okay. Clarence ready, Zidane ready. Let's do it. So welcome to the world of digital monetization. All right. We got a lot to talk about. So some key points that I'm going to be talking about today is the importance of creating multiple streams of income. We're also going to be talking about how to build your brand and monetize within that brand. So just a little bit about me, right? I work with Caribbean entrepreneurs across the entire region and diaspora in helping them build their businesses, taking it online, building a digital presence, and monetizing their platforms. As Antonio said, I've worked with some really good companies, some fun companies, Huawei, Digicel, Samsung, WePay, and those companies have allowed me to travel across the entire Caribbean region. And I love to teach, but if you want to learn more information about building your business online, marketing your business, these are the free resources that you can tune into every single week from me. The Digital World Radio Show every Friday, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. If it's not just me talking, I also bring guests on every single week who have figured out how to leverage the digital channels to make money and build their business online. So we've had psychologists, therapists, chefs, you name it, every single field has been on that radio show and more to come every Friday. Then every Thursday and Wednesday I'm in the Jamaica Observer. So those articles are in print in Jamaica, but then they're also online as well. And then every Thursday in the TT Newsday, we're in the papers and all of the content is uploaded to their website. I also, every single Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., I'm on CNC3's Morning Brew with the Digipreneur segment. So again, free resources. We're talking business, entrepreneurship, monetization, and all these platforms. And then I'm also a program advisor at the University of South Florida, where I help to build out the curriculum for marketing in that school, right? And then if you're into podcasts, go and check out the Digipreneur FM podcast. I release 2 episodes every single week. So there's tons of content for you to learn from. And again, those are all of the free resources so you can tap into and learn, all right? Now, let me start things off. I want to put some perspective and plant this seed, okay? This is one of the most important quotes that I learned a couple of years ago from an author by the name of Daniel Priestley. And Daniel says, your best thinking for the last 5 years is your baggage today. I'm going to say that again. Your best thinking for the last 5 years is your baggage today. And what he means by that is the world is changing at a rapid rate. And there's too many people that say to themselves, you know what, I've been doing something for 30 years, so I'm an expert. But You're not an expert no more when the world is changing every single day. So continuous learning is what you're going to have to do if you want to succeed. If there's one thing from Mr. Seal's story that he was talking about with respect to the academics, I myself, I was one of the most intelligent people in school, but I was never somebody who was always there in school. I was always zoning out. And I learned recently over the last couple of years that the reason why I was never fully just mentally involved in school as bright as I was because the majority of the things, almost every single thing I do today was never invented growing up. Every single thing I do today, the majority of it wasn't around 10 plus years ago. So again, the world is changing. You got to keep pace in order to stay relevant and keep on upskilling so that you will always be able to create opportunities for yourself or take advantage of those opportunities. So to understand digital streams of income, there's no better way for me to do this than by telling you a story of somebody who was able to take a traditional job, right? And then build it into a brand and then create multiple streams of income. So I want you to meet Carl the mechanic. Now, Carl is a fictional person based on a true story, but you know, the person is a fictional person, so bear with me, right? But we're going to talk about Carl the mechanic and how he was able to build a brand and create multiple streams of income, all right? So let's get to know Carl. So Carl wants to build a brand. You see, Carl has loved working on cars with his dad ever since he was 6 years old. Even if it was to hold a flashlight, he was right there under the hood. And it was no shocker when he decided that he wanted to become a mechanic and become the best mechanic in Trinidad and Tobago. So the journey for Carl begins. Carl started to take every single course he could take in school and outside of school that would help him towards his goal of becoming the best mechanic in the country. He also spent every minute outside of his studies working with his dad in the shop. Now, this is where things get interesting because at the end, I'm going to ask you how many streams of revenue did you count throughout the story that Carl was able to create. So just a friendly reminder, have those notepads ready because the money talks begin. So Carl started with a blog. He knew he wanted to build a digital home that acted as a resource for all car information so that people could come and visit his website and learn everything they needed to know about cars. So Carl learned how to do something called keyword research or market research to start learning exactly what problems people were searching for on Google with respects to cars. He then learned about Google AdSense. This is a hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He learned about Google AdSense. He signed up and he added Google AdSense to his website to be able to get ad revenue from the traffic that was coming to his website. Now with Google AdSense, once you hit 100 US a month, Google, even though you're right here in Trinidad, Google will send you a check as long as you cross the 100 US threshold every month. They'll send you a check in US dollars or they will do direct deposit. All right? Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Now let me show you guys how you can conduct a bit of market research and what market research looks like. So as I said, Carl learned how to do this so that he could understand what is happening in his industry. So because Carl loves BMWs, he decided, you know, what do people want in Trinidad and Tobago with respects to BMWs? Are they even looking for BMWs? Is specializing in BMWs, is it viable? Well, he utilized a tool, and this tool is called Uber Suggest. The tool is called Uber, U-B-E-R, Suggest, okay? Uber Suggest. He selected his country as Trinidad and Tobago, and he typed in BMWs. And he learned that over the last 30 days, BMW was searched for 1,000 times. The word BMW was searched for 1,000 times in the last 30 days. So there are people in Trinidad looking for BMW-related content. right? 60% of the people who searched for BMW in Trinidad were between the ages of 35 to 44. Now, this is always great when you know who your audience is. Who is looking for what, exactly what they're looking for in the age demographics. That way you know what platforms they're going to be on and what type of content you can create for the different age groups, right? He then moved on and he wanted to know where in Trinidad and Tobago were those people located searching for BMWs. So this is a tool called Google Trends, and this is going to help you to decide, is what you are trying to do viable? Are there people looking for what you are looking for? So BMW, people in San Fernando are the number one people, San Fernando has the number one group of people looking for BMW. 2 is Point Fortin, 3 is Cuva, 4 is Siparia, 5 is Pinal. This is great information to know because now you know exactly where in the country your potential clients is, where your audience is, and when you decide you start your business and you want to run ads or pop-up shops, this is one of the ways that we as a digital strategist get a good idea as to where our people are. So we can now target with ads specific to those cities, or we know where we can do pop-up shops, all right? Now, this is one of my favorite tools, and all the tools I'm showing you guys today are free, right? Or freemium. So, and this tool called Answer the Public is a freemium tool. You get 3 searches per day. Google Trends, one that showed us the demographics, is a free tool. And also Uber Suggest is a freemium tool. So you get 3 free searches a day, all right? But we jumped into Answer the Public and we typed in BMW. And what this tool does is it scrapes every single question that people have asked about BMW over the last 30 days on Google. So now you as the business, you know exactly what your people want. What are their struggles? What types of products or services you need to create for them, or what type of content to create. So let's take a look what people in Trinidad are looking for when it comes to BMW. The first question, are BMWs reliable? Are BMWs expensive to maintain? Can a BMW take 89 gas? How to track my BMW? How is BMW made? How does BMW xDrive work? And how does Valtronic work? So if you know exactly what people are looking for online, what they're typing into Google, you can now create services, you know what products to maintain or stock, but then you know what type of content to create on your platforms so that you can grow your business and attract more people coming into you. Okay, now I said a lot with those 3 tools. Let me know, do you guys like those tools? Do those tools make sense? Let me know in the chat. Are you liking those tools? Let me know if you're liking those tools in the chat. Let me know if you're going to be experimenting with those tools to see how it can help you grow your business. Let me see in the chat, loving those tools. Yupo, yes, sir. They are interesting. But of course, absolutely loving them. I know somebody is probably thinking to themselves, brilliant tools, right? Make sure you guys are experimenting and learning how to use them. But back to the story. So Carl starts doing his research. He understands what is happening within his industry in his country. So Carl's audience starts asking for how-tos. So since his audience wanted more visual content, he started to create how-to videos. Carl then started his YouTube channel. He took all of the research, all those things that people were looking for in Answer the Public, and he turned that into content, which helped with his organic search. So people are searching and Carl's content is coming up because he knows exactly what they're searching for. So he is showing up in the search for his videos. He was able to get monetized on YouTube since their new requirements are now, and I hope you have your pen and paper ready, YouTube's new requirements for monetization, and yes, you can get monetized in Trinidad, are 500 subs, 3,000 watch hours in 1 year, or 3 million short views in 90 days and 3 public uploads in 90 days for your YouTube channel. And guess what, folks? YouTube is a part of Google, and YouTube cuts you a check in US dollars every month once you pass the $100 US threshold, or they can do direct deposit into your local bank account. And those bank accounts, those bank payments happen on the 22nd of every month right into your local bank accounts. FCB has been collecting my Google AdSense and YouTube monetization since, all right? So you can get monetized right here in YouTube, all right? So then Carl decides to hit social media. So he has the website, he has the YouTube channel. I'm seeing some people asking for the repeat of tools. Google Trends, Answer the Public, and Uber Suggest, okay? All right, so Carl hits social media. So he's armed with his blog, his website, his YouTube channel. Carl starts to create shorter pieces of content from those longer form pieces of content on his blog and his YouTube channel. Companies start noticing that Carl has an extremely engaged community on social media. Carl then starts to get paid for sponsored content and also starts getting brand ambassador offers from his favorite car companies and auto supplies companies. So he's getting sponsorship from things like Mobile One, Fuchs, BMW wants to partner with him. All the brands, the car suppliers, the auto suppliers, they want to work with Carl to create sponsored content. And what that means is more money. So you're making money from your website with Google AdSense. You're making money from YouTube monetization. And now he's creating social media content and making money from sponsored content. Then people start to ask, but Carl, you're talking about all of these products. Where can I buy the product? All right, Carl says, I got you, no worries. Carl signs up for Amazon affiliates and he starts getting revenue from his product recommendations. So you can sign up for Amazon affiliates. The website is called Amazon Associates. Once you register every single product on Amazon, once you grab the product link and you recommend it, you put it on your social media platforms, you send it on WhatsApp, you send it to your audience members. Once they purchase the product using your link, you get a commission on those products. So remember, Carl's still up and coming. He's not going to have all of these products, but because he's buying them and using them in his content, people want to purchase it. So then he could say, hey, you know what? You want to buy it? Here's the link for the product. People buy it, and then he makes a commission on those products through Amazon affiliates. Carl decides to take it a whole step further. He begins to create his own line of car accessories that he sells directly to consumers through his website, or he decides to start using Amazon, where he can create a store on Amazon and use Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, to sell products to anywhere in the world. You can do private labeling. You could use an Alibaba. Create your own products, get your own branded products, and then get those things to Amazon FBA, where they can then handle payments and then ship your products anywhere all over the world. All of those things are now available across the entire Caribbean region, right? People start to ask, but Carl, we want car guides. We want more from you. We want more help. What else can you give us? So Carl starts looking at creating guides for his audience that would help them in very specific situations. One of the biggest problems that his audience is facing is how to buy a used vehicle. So Carl creates guides specific to each brand that you can purchase that help you do proper checks. And those guides are in the form of ebooks, which are a digital product. So anybody, anywhere in the world, once they're following you and like your content, if they want to purchase your ebook, they could go to your website, purchase that ebook, and that's a digital product. So they'd get the product immediately. And you can sell those things for as low as $1. But just think about it. If 1 million people buy a $1 product, you just made $1 million. So think about that when you're looking at digital products, right? Easy to create, but then they don't expire. You just keep on kind of updating them. And the more content you create and the more you're building your audience, people are going to want your digital products as well. I hope you guys are keeping track with all of the ways to monetize. If you guys are keeping track, just let me know in the chat. Yes, you're keeping track. Just drop a yes for me. Drop a yes, you're keeping track, because I want to see all of you guys implementing all of these strategies. Again, the reason I picked a mechanic is it doesn't get as traditional of a job as a mechanic. We are bringing this mechanic into the digital space. We want a mechanic to not just be fixing cars in Trinidad. No, you got to make money in Europe. You got to make money in Australia. You need to start getting paid in some US dollars from the States or from Canada. You got to be making money from all corners of the world. You can't just be making money fixing cars. No, we got to make more money. All right, let me go. We're going to keep on going, right? Wonderful. So now the online school. Carl decides to open up an online school that would facilitate his courses and live trainings to train the next generation of mechanics. So some really good platforms to start building your own courses, your own online school is Teachable, Thinkific, 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 Kajabi. But go check out Teachable, right? That's the easiest name to remember. Go check out Teachable. You're able to build your own online school. People can purchase access to your online school, or they can buy courses that you create, all right? So again, another way that people anywhere in the world can do business with you and support you, and you make money. But then they say, Carl, we still want more. We want more from you. And Carl's like, don't worry, I got you guys. You want more information and more ways to interact with my brand? I got you. Carl decides he's going to create a podcast. So Carl is in love with listening to podcasts about cars, and he decides he has a lot more to offer. He starts his own podcast for car enthusiasts. He gets paid through subscription services like Patreon. He also gets paid through sponsored episodes from brands, and he's also able to accept donations from you, the fans, right? So he has a donation link, he has Patreon, and then brands like BMW, Jaguar, Porsche, all of them, right? They want to sponsor his podcast because Carl's doing it. He's doing the thing. He's popular, and they want to be able to support, but also tap into his audience. So he has sponsored episodes on his podcast, right? So you have sponsored content on social media. Then you also have sponsored episodes on your podcast. Another way that brands can work with you. Carl's content is now being consumed around the world. You know what he decides to do? He starts creating merch. If you could see mine, Digipreneur, I have others, right? He decides to get into merch. He creates a community. He starts creating merch for his community. Carl has now decided to create designs with his top quotes, his logo, and funny comments, and put them on merchandise. He works with a platform like Printful and Teespring to create designs. And those platforms allow you to create your store, create the designs. They handle payments, and they do direct deposits to your local bank account. And they also handle the logistics. So anywhere in the world, people can see a shirt like this one in the design, in the example. I'm here because you broke something. Somebody in New Zealand could see that and purchase it. And then Teespring or Printful would then print the shirt and ship it out to that person in New Zealand. All right. Carl then decides, you know what? He's getting calls to now take the stage. Carl has built up quite the story along the way and his journey. And that has opened up the door for him to do paid speaking gigs about his journey and be on panels about cars. So folks, when you build your brand and you become popular, right? People are going to reach out to you. They're going to contact you to come and speak on their shows. They're going to come and contact you to speak at their events and provide your story. And also, if there's car events, right? There's car events that happen around the world. People would book him to come and speak on those stages. And when you do paid speaking, the money is really good. So once again, I hope you are keeping track of all of the ways you can make money within your brand. Let me know. Are you guys keeping track? Let me know. Yes, you're keeping track. Jump in the chat. Let me know if you're keeping track. Let me know if you're keeping track. That is what we're talking about. Of course, I see some future millionaires in the making. People able to create multiple streams of income. I'm loving it. Darian says yes. Daniel following. Don keeping track. Mariba, yes. All right, let's keep it going. Andre, 100%. Let's keep it going. Now, that story is to be continued, right? But let's see. I want to know, did you count all the ways that Carl was able to monetize? Let me know in the chat. How many ways did you guys count? Give me a number. Did you count 5? Did you count 9, 4, 15, 10, 10? This is good. You know why this is good? Because there are people that would see all this information and think about more ways to monetize that spun off the information provided today, right? People are seeing some things here and like, wait a minute, but there's other ways that I could use that same thing and create other streams of income. I'm loving it. 12, 13, I'm loving it. The higher the number, I'm loving it, because that just means you're thinking about more ways of creating multiple streams of income. Let's see how much we got. So here are the various ways to monetize. Take a picture, screenshot. Where your screenshot? Take a pic, screenshot. I need you to have this, all right? Take a pic. I need you to have this. Let me know if you got it. Just type in the chat. Did you screenshot? Yes, you got it. Let me know. Yes, you got the screenshot. Yes, you took a picture. Let me know in the chat if you got it. Boom. Bang, bang, bang. That's what we're talking about. So let's go through it. Number 1, we started off with Google AdSense. This allows you to monetize Google ads on your website, but also allow you to monetize your YouTube videos. You need Google AdSense if you want to monetize on YouTube, and also if you want to monetize on your website. Number 2, social media. You can get paid through product reviews, social media shoutouts, IG page takeovers, sponsored content. Number 3, Amazon affiliate marketing and drop shipping. That's the Amazon FBA, but also when you're creating content and recommending products, the Amazon associates allow you to drop those links so that people can click on the link, purchase the product, and you make a commission, right? Then we got digital products. So you could create ebooks or downloadables that you could sell on your website or Amazon. You can partner with Teespring or Printful to create your own merch line, right? Then you got membership sites or your online school. So membership sites are great for recurring income and to create an exclusive community. Put your courses, do live trainings all on your membership site or your online school. Then you got the podcast. Remember, you can register with Patreon or get paid or sell ad space on your podcast to other brands or businesses. And last but not least, speaking gigs. You can get paid speaking gigs. They will open up to talk about how you built your business and put you on expert panels with other industry experts. Now, the reason I did this as a story is because I wanted to show you the progression of Carl the mechanic from when he started as a kid, just in his dad's space all over the place, holding a flashlight, just learning. This story was done as a progression. So you're not going to wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to be a paid speaker and get paid to speak. No, you need to build your brand. And that brand starts by learning a skill set, becoming good at a skill set. You could even start creating content showing people how you are learning a skill set. So on my Instagram, I'm always showing a behind the scenes of the books that I'm reading. I'm always showing the courses I'm doing. I'm always upskilling. I don't even consider myself an expert. I'm a student through and through, and I just learn, I implement for my business, and whatever my business does, good, bad, I showcase with the world, because even in my failures, my nuggets and my story can help somebody else, right? So for you, you want to start with showcasing your content around you learning the skills. And then when you become good at what you do, you're going to create your website, your digital home. That's a space for your brand. When you go on Google and you type in a question, everything in the results is a link to a website. So if you don't have a website, you're not going to be participating in the number one way that people get information, right? Social media is good, but you don't own social media. Anything could happen on social media. You could be suspended. You could be banned. People could report your content, and your content gets removed. Your website is your space. You own it. All of your content should be on your website. That allows you to become Googleable. Your social media can drive traffic to your website, where then you can build your email list, your notification list. You can now get people to click on your Google ads so you can make recurring revenue, right? So that all flows into it. Start building your brand, creating that content, and then brands are going to start to reach out to you to say, hey, we want to partner with you. You are a mechanic. We are BMW. We want to sponsor some of your BMW content, or we want to provide you with oil or sponsor oil or something. Put that in your video and we'll pay for that, right? Then merch, your online schools, your courses, and then you're going to get booked to come and speak on stages just like we're doing today, right? It'll happen over time, but you got to start somewhere. So here are some tangible places to learn some of the skills that we spoke about today. So these are free. I tried to give you guys free resources, right? So Google Digital Garage. Learn skills on Google Digital Garage. Make sure you guys are screenshotting this or taking a picture. Google Digital Garage allows you to learn skills like digital marketing, paid advertising, how to build an online business, building self-confidence online, grow your business in other markets outside of Trinidad and Tobago, right? So go check out Google Digital Garage. Those are some of the courses I recommend that you take. Next up is HubSpot Academy. These are free courses. HubSpot Academy, you can learn skills such as content marketing, search engine optimization. So when you have a website and you want Google, Yahoo, Bing to find your content, you usually need a search engine optimization specialist to get you to show up on the search engines. Then you can also learn how to manage customer relationships. You can learn email marketing and so much more. There's hundreds of content on HubSpot Academy for you to go and do and get globally recognized certifications for free, all right? Then there is Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is a monthly fee. It's like $15 a month, right? But they have so many courses in so many different industries. It's worth checking out. So that's the only paid tool that we're going to speak about today. But check it out. If it's worthwhile for you and you can afford the 15 US a month, you want to go check out Skillshare. But Google Digital Garage, HubSpot Academy are two free schools, online schools that give you globally recognized certifications to start your journey. All right. Now, I think we have like 2-3 minutes left. You guys can let me know. And if we do, I guess we could take some quick questions. You can put the questions in the chat. Let me know.
Yes, Karen, all of 42 or 3 minutes. You're doing such a great job. Yes, I'm enjoying this. 2 or 3 minutes.
All right, no problem. So if you have a question, you could drop the question in the chat. Let's see if we could take 2 quick questions and then we'll bring it over. The show's got to go on. We got Donnie coming in next, right? So let's see. Clarence asks, what are the requirements for YouTube again? Let me bring that up in the presentation so you guys can see. YouTube. All right, so YouTube is 500 subs, so 500 subscribers, and you need to have at least 3,000 watch hours in a year. It used to be you had to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. So now it's 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours in 1 year, or 3 million short views in 90 days, or 3 public uploads. So they've lowered the requirements so that more people can get monetization on YouTube, all right? Next up, Rhino says, what is the next steps for someone who may be in Carl's position now? That is before he started his digital journey. The first step is really to learn a skill, right? Learn a skill. We see a lot of people who are jumping on YouTube and they're just creating funny content, and they're going viral, and they're getting brand deals and whatnot. And that's cool, but it's not sustainable. What is sustainable is learning a skill and then taking that skill, learning how to create content around that industry and around that skill. And then you become a person of value. And then when brands reach out to you and they realize, yo, there's a lot of value coming from you, the money they are willing to pay subject matter experts is 10 times the amount than content creators who are creating random content with very low value. They have a following so they can get awareness, but to a business owner, awareness as a metric is low-hanging fruit for a business owner. Businesses are constantly trying to look for what subject matter experts can we work with and partner with so that everything that we do, workshops, events, align. And you will get paid more as an SME creating content than a random YouTube creator. So your first step is learning a skill, whatever that skill is. I did mechanic for a reason, because that's traditional and you can still take that and be digital with that. Last question I'll take is, Jardel, website creation will be based on your preference from scratch, HTML, CSS, or pre-made utilizing WordPress or some others. Jardel, amazing question. Let me start by prefacing that by saying I'm actually a university dropout. Back in Canada, I dropped out of university. And I dropped out of university because there was a mandatory course that I had to take that I hated. I hated because it was coding. And that course was developing websites using Dreamweaver, CSS, JavaScript. I dropped out. I hated it. Do you know what a big part of my brand is, of what I do for clients now? I build websites for clients, right? Dropped out of school because I hated coding, but now I build websites for clients, right? You can use any platform you are comfortable with. The only thing I would tell you, right, whether it is WordPress, Wix, CSS, Dream, whatever it is, the only thing I will tell you is make sure that whatever platform you decide to learn and specialize in can work with Caribbean payment gateways. Because we have a lot of people that are building websites for businesses, but they've learned a platform that does not connect with First Atlantic Commerce, doesn't connect with WePay or CXPay or any of the payment gateways available to us in the Caribbean. And you are doing a business a disservice if their platform cannot be e-commerce ready. So you could learn whatever platform you want. I specialize in WordPress. Learn whatever platform you want. Just know whatever platform you're using, just make sure a Caribbean payment gateway can connect to it and you'll be good. So Antonio, that is it from me. And I'll put this up before I stop to share. If you guys have any questions whatsoever and you want to reach out, besides those free resources I gave, you can reach me on social media, Karen Rose, across LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, my email address, my website. I put all my content on my website so you can learn about building your digital presence and monetizing, and then you can go check out the podcast. But go follow me on social media to learn all about this. If you enjoyed today's session, just drop some flames or drop a yes in the chat. I will be looking on. Antonio, back to you.
Flames. Totally enjoyed it. Love the energy. One question before you go to Karen. Someone
Yes.
in the comments asked how they could get access to your presentation today.
I'll make it available to you guys with TATT, and then you guys can then put it out. That wouldn't be a problem.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Love the energy, man. The world is changing at a rapid pace, and we must stay abreast with these changes. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. From being a traditional mechanic to multiple streams of income. Many thanks, Karen. Within the last hour, I have learned so much. Guys, I hope you heed this counsel and make an effort to move forward with developing your personal brand in order to make more money. So you want to thank Karen once again for sharing his expertise with us by giving him a round of applause, albeit virtually. Thank you so much, Karen Rose. Before we move on to the next speaker, we just have some housekeeping that we need to dispel to you, the participants. So I hope you're listening carefully, because if you have registered for the mobile app development using Funkable, please place the letter T in front of your name with a space in the chat. So for example, If I registered to do Thunkable, I would put T space Antonio Fletcher in the chat. Once again, if you registered for the mobile app development using Thunkable, please place the letter T space then a name in the comment section on the chat.
Hi,
Good.
Antonio. This
Yes,
is hi, Raj here. Sorry to just butt in like that.
no problem, Raj.
What they can do is instead of putting it in a chat, use the rename
Mhm.
and rename then actual name in the participant list. So the idea is who doing
Okay,
Thunkable would be listed together, and all those who doing Google Sites will be listed together. So let's not go with the chat. The chat is a good idea, but let's do the participant name change instead. Thanks.
lovely. So, Raj, before you go, I'm assuming that this would obtain for those doing the website development as well, right?
Yeah. So who's doing the Google Sites? Use the letter G. Who's doing Thunkable? Use the letter T. So we just all group. The reason for that is so when you are being placed in your breakout rooms, it's going to be done like really fast. Thanks much.
Lovely, Raj. Always so efficient. Thank you for that. So next we have Mr. Donny Bechan, who is a highly experienced entrepreneur and the founder of Six Berries Limited. With an impressive track record spanning 24 years, Donny brings a wealth of expertise in leadership, strategy, application development, e-commerce, and startups. He has successfully built e-commerce systems that cater to millions of customers, establishing himself as a leader in the industry. Having worked in various locations, including the Caribbean, the USA, the United Kingdom, Johnny has gained a global perspective that fuels his company's growth. At Six Berries, Johnny is passionate about helping startups navigate their journeys from inception to scalability, providing invaluable guidance along the way. Johnny will impart his knowledge on search engine optimization and how to increase web traffic. This training is essential because it will answer the question of what to do, having finished creating your website or developing a mobile app. Mr. Bechan, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Antonio. Good morning,
Welcome.
everyone. That was a very good introduction there. I do have a slide about introduction, and I was going to take it out, but I decided to leave it in based on some of the comments that we had earlier from some of the speakers. I want to say, first of all, that I'm very honored to be here. I think my background, you referenced that I've been doing this for 24 years, so I'm quite old now. And I started off in 1999, which is a very long time ago, and the start of the internet in the Caribbean and things like that. And back then, people didn't try to think about the global opportunity that you had, right? Which is a real level playing field. And I'm very happy that to see what the ministry is doing now to enable our young people to get into that world stage, because we're in Trinidad, that doesn't mean we can't build the next Google or Facebook or Instagram, right? We have the opportunity and we have the tools now. And one of the things that was said earlier is that the world is at your fingertips, right? The internet makes everything even. You can get, people think that Stanford is the best university in the world for ICT. You can get Stanford courses online for free. You just Google Stanford CS courses, it's there. You can get courses from Harvard, MIT, they're all available to you. So you no longer have the excuse that I live in Trinidad, I can't get access to things. So, I don't know how I'm gonna follow Mr. Rose's excellent presentation, because I get to talk about the boring stuff of SEO, but I'm gonna try. So, it's gonna be some technical stuff that we have to go through, and hopefully everybody is gonna enjoy this as well. So let me just share my screen, get this ready. All right, share this one. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. Let me open the chat.
Up on my end, Donnie.
Oh, perfect. So guys, just bear in mind that, if you have comments and questions, I prefer comments coming through as I present. So don't be afraid to post the comments in. Let me just get my chat window open here. All right, let's get to it. So today we're going to talk about mastering search engine optimization for online success. And a little bit about me. So my name is Donnie Bachan. I was born and raised in Charleville in Chaguanas. So if anybody knows where that is, it's very close to Chief Brand Products. So when you can smell the curry, that's where I used to live. I attended Fatima College. I was very fortunate. I was one of the first people in my primary school to get to Fatima College. And regardless of what your thoughts of that school is, my alma mater, I did a degree of computer science and chemistry from the University of the West Indies. I also sold coquille brooms when I was younger, right? So I want to give you guys a little bit of background about me and how I got to where I am today. So it's not always a linear path to success. It's always talking about where you start in your entrepreneurial journey. You take your learnings from that, right? So now I sell services into companies, big and small, and it started. Some of these skills that I learned was from selling coquille brooms, right? When I was younger, I also sold clothes from an apple box in Chaguanas Market. So I did a lot of these very mundane, basic tasks when I was younger. When I started, after I left university, I got a very good opportunity to work with a software development company in Trinidad. And we built one of the first software as a service platforms. So if you guys don't know what a software as a service platform is, it's basically where you pay monthly for software. So if you pay for Google or you pay for, HubSpot, whatever you pay for online, and that software is there constantly, that software as a service. And we built one of the first platforms in the year 2000. We also built the first shopping network and online yellow pages in the Caribbean. Back then, we couldn't take online payments, which is funny. I then went on to build a testing tool for Colorado State University. I built some more software. And right now, at Six Berries, we work with very early stage startups and we help them grow as they go along. So during my career, we've worked with a lot of very early stage businesses, founders who didn't understand ICT or technology, and help them grow their business through understanding of business and technology. And I just want to reiterate something that a lot of these speakers said earlier. You guys need to continue learning. There's never a point where you are the expert. You always continue learning. You're always the student. And if you keep that in mind, you will be able to achieve greatness. Right, and I'm also a fan of Star Wars, The Simpsons, Family Guy, and Lionel Messi, because Messi is the GOAT, CR7 is a poser. Just throwing that out there for anybody. All right, so let's search. Why is SEO important? SEO increases online visibility, brand awareness, and credibility. When somebody searches into Google, and everybody searches in Google, right? When you want to find any information, you go to Google first. The first results or the top results are the ones that you trust, right? I would like to see the chat. Who actually goes to page 2 on Google? Does anybody use page 2 of Google results? Oh, we have somebody who said yeah. Page 4, page 5. Very rarely, right? Excellent. So we have, yeah, a couple no's, a couple sometimes, never. So this is why SEO is important. You want to achieve that first ranking on the website on Google. And I just want to caveat one thing here. I'm going to be using Google as a blueprint for all the conversations today. I know there's many other search engines probably nobody uses them, and we'll talk about some of them in a minute. So SEO helps you with improved rankings. So it leads to higher organic traffic because, Karen was talking around getting, building all that content, and you have to get people to your website, right? So using those content, it helps you get organic traffic. You don't want to have to pay for your search listings. And a potential for higher conversion rates. Now, conversion rates is a very important thing. Your website is a tool for them to either buy your service or buy a product from you, but you want it there so that they can do something on your website. They can convert. You don't want them to just come to your website and disappear. So everything that you do is leading for getting the people to convert on your website. SEO impacts your business growth and provides a competitive advantage in the market. All right. So the truth about SEO is actually magic. I want to be very clear. Everyone says that they can guarantee good ratings or rankings, but no one really knows how it is. So is it magic or maybe dark magic? Because no matter what you try, you think you're an expert. Every time it comes along, every time you think you cracked it, the search engines do something and it changes it, right? You just don't know. But there are a few things that you can do to make sure that that you will have the best chance of getting a good listing. And I just wanted to throw this in here that the original Genie was much better than Will Smith's Genie. And Will Smith can't take a joke. All right. So what is SEO? SEO is the practice of optimizing your web pages to improve their visibility and rankings in search engine result pages. And if you look on the left here, this is an example of a search engine result page. It looks slightly different because we are, I've just had this is on mobile. All right, so this is your search query. This is where you put what you're looking for, and this is your search results. These are the sites that are best matched for the query, and they are displayed in order of relevance. Now, relevance is a very important term, and we'll talk a little bit later on about how relevance is kind of determined, right? Most people are familiar with Google, so we're going to be using that, but there are other, tools that we can use later on. All right, so the basic of the search engine results page, right? So if I search for where to find the best doubles in Trinidad, right? The top result has an excerpt. So the search engines now are now trying to give much more contextual information at the start of the results. All right, they tell you some information and then they point you to the website. They also show you contextual information around what else people are looking for. Then it gives you other results, and then it gives you some video results. So now Google kind of mixes it up a bit, and they show you different content and different suggestions in different places. I just want to say this is wrong because everybody knows the best doubles is the green shed and DB. So even Google can be wrong. Right. So many of you probably have seen this. When you're searching for something, you also have paid ads, right? So you have Google shopping results and you have paid results, which are sponsored. And then you have the organic stuff later on. So when you go to a search results page, a lot of the content at the top of it is paid ads. You tend to not to want to use paid ads at the start because it's expensive. And the more competition you have in your space, and the example that Karen gave earlier around BMW, if you search for BMW, you will get so many paid advertising at the top that the cost of using the advertising is very expensive. Right? Yeah, Rafina and Grandi. Yeah, we'll try that one out next time. So, and the other problem that you have with paid advertising is that this ad here isn't even men's health, even though I was searching for men's health. See, this one here is not men's health. Right. So how do search engines work? And as I said before, Google is one of the most popular ones, but there's also Microsoft Bing, DuckDuckGo, Baidu in China, and Ecosia, which is more environmental friendly search engines. So search engines organize and deliver relevant search results to users. They crawl websites, so search engines send out bots or spiders to discover web pages. They index them, they discover the web pages and store them in the search engine. It's basically a database, and then they rank them. So they analyze the search engines, the search results, they look at the web pages and determine whether it is relevant for a specific query. And here's just a little example of a diagram of how it works. So you have, if you enter search into Google, Google will ask its database, its system at the back end, but they send out bots and spiders to crawl websites, then makes a copy and then processes that information. And all of this is important for you to understand, because one of the things is there are billions of websites on the internet. So if you don't optimize your web pages and have very good content to support your content, you'll never rank very highly on the search engine. All right, so let's get into the basics of SEO. So user experience. What does that mean? It means that it's how you design your website, right? And it's not only the visual design, but it's also around ensuring that you have clear, intuitive structure to your web pages, making sure that you implement user-friendly menus and subcategories so that people can access the information very, very easily, providing search functionality on there. And we'll show an example in a second. Ensure that you have clear and descriptive URLs. So when somebody goes to your website, they see the information in the URL itself. They don't see a bunch of random numbers. And again, I'll show you an example in a couple of seconds. The heading tags. You have to make sure that you have bold heading tags. And this is all part of when you're building your website in a few minutes on Google, on the Google site stuff. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about here, what your heading tags are, how you set up your URLs. And all of those things are really important in making sure that you have content that not only the user, not only the robots at Google can see, but the users who actually use your website. Ensure that your site works well on mobile. Most people use mobile, they use their mobile as their first device now. Right, so making sure that your website works well on mobile is super important, and as well as desktop. And have good internal linking. Making sure that your website links from one page to the next is extremely important, because that's one of the biggest factors that Google uses when it tries to see how your content works with one another. Create an XML sitemap. This is a bit more technical, but Google uses this. So effectively, a sitemap is you telling Google, hey, these are all the pages that I have on my website. Make sure and visit all of them. Don't just look for the home page. If you have good internal linking, the sitemap becomes a little bit redundant. And make your site as fast as possible. So making your site super fast is extremely important, because nobody wants to go to a slow website. I'm sure that you guys have seen, if you went to a slow website, you kind of get bored and leave, right? You don't wait for it to load. So here's an example. This is a website called crutchfield.com. They sell audio equipment. They're based in the US. So some of the things I was talking about, making sure that the structure is very easily, has good clear categories. People can see for this Pioneer receiver, they can see where, which categories it's in. The H1 tag, which is this here, matches the URL, because you can see in the URL it says Pioneer DMH 2600 or 2660. And the same thing on the title bar. They all match, right? And that helps not only your users, but it also helps the robots understand if it's relevant or not. Now, there's other information. I'm sorry, guys, if you have any questions, again, put it in the chat, okay? There are other information that you can deliver here. So you have meta tags, right? So meta tags, and all meta means in the space of web development and search engine optimization is information that you put in the background in your HTML. When you're building your website, you put this information in, and Google can read it, right? So meta tags are things like your title tags. So what is the information that's going to be on the page? A little description of that information. You want to put good keywords in your meta tags, because say for example you are looking for doubles, right? And you wanted to put that in, you have to put doubles in your keywords, otherwise Google will never find you. Optimize meta tags to improve click-through rates and attract relevant organic content. So, and I'll show you in a second what that means. Right, so if you see here, Google uses the meta tag information to map things on your website. So this is the search result on the left, and this is the website on the right. And you can see this here matches this, the title of the website, the URL matches the URL in the bar, the title here matches the H1 tag, this description matches this here, and the image matches this image here. Now, all of that is pulled because there's some information on the back of the website that actually tells Google, these are the things that are important. Now, in today's world, images are really important, right? So you can now search, and I'll show you in a second, you can now search by Google. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can use image search on Google. Google has a tool called Image Lens, and you can do Google search. You can just throw an image or point your camera at an image and it will do a search for you. So if you're trying to get a nice pair of trainers or sneakers, my daughter constantly sends me photos of things that she wants. I can now drop it into Google and figure out where to buy it. So images play an important role for both user experience and SEO. Optimize your images. So how will Google know what's in the image? There's two ways. One is that they use computer science and computer vision to identify the image, identify the products in the image. The other way is that you tell it. You make the file name descriptive, you use all tags in your HTML, and you use descriptions that describe the image. And one of the biggest things, again, is speed. So make sure that your images aren't huge. Compress your images, make them smaller and faster for loading the page. And Google now puts a lot of emphasis on image search because Google is trying to map the world. So they want to see what you see. And that's where Image Lens Lens comes in. So Google has Lens. All the other search providers have the same capability. You can drag an image in on your mobile. You can actually take a photo and it will do a search for you. Right. Any question, guys? No questions yet. All right. All right. So internal linking. Internal linking is basically navigating through the website. So you land on a home page. You're looking for, Jordan trainers. You land on a home page of a website or Nike's website. You want to try and find it. You have to click on a link to get there. They have to make it intuitive and easy to get to that page. Otherwise, even the bots, when they're searching your website, they won't be able to find it. Use relevant anchor text when linking to other pages to your website. Now, what is an anchor text? Anchor text is when you have a link, you don't put the link, the actual URL of the link. The words that you use is the actual thing, and I'll show you an example in a second. External linking. So when Google started, what they used to do, how they used to rank pages was they used to check how many links you had from other websites to your website. They used to call those backlinks, right? Now it's less important, but it's still quite an interesting thing. So you getting links from other websites to your website is quite important. So for example, if the Ministry of Digital Transformation has a link to TATT, that is almost like a vote to TATT's website. So when Google sees, okay, the Ministry of Digital Transformation is linking to TATT, that means TATT must be important. So it gets pushed up the search rankings. All right, so content is king. I left content for last because it's probably the most important, it's probably the most important part of SEO. So you have different types of content. You have text content, right? Text content such as blog posts, articles, website copy should be well written. It should be informative and engaging to provide value to your target audience, right? One of the things that Google checks as well is that they check how long somebody stays on your website, right? If somebody stays a long time on your website, that is an indication that people are finding interesting content there. They find whatever you have on there interesting. So if you write good content and you get people to stay longer, that's a good sign. Text content also has the keyword stuff, right? So the words that you use match the words that people search for. And obviously there's a lot more sophistication in the algorithms that Google use. So you don't necessarily need to say, if you wanted to find out about Harry Potter, you don't have to type Harry Potter. You can type something about Daniel Radcliffe, who is the actor that portrays Harry Potter, and the results will still show because Google knows that there's a relationship between Daniel Radcliffe and Harry Potter. So it's important for you to do some research. And again, Karen gave some really good examples of tools that you use to look up what content is there and then write content around these things, and it will promote your website. Image content, we discussed this earlier. Image is really, really important on websites. Optimize them and use descriptive file names, alternative tags, and captions to make sure that the search engines know what is actually on the images. Video content. Many years ago, video content wasn't a huge thing. Now, if you search for pretty much anything, one of the key pieces of search results, like I showed earlier, is video, right? So YouTube comes up on Google. YouTube results come up very high up on the search ranking. So if you can generate content and video, link it back to your website or embed it onto your website, and it will help you grow your search engine results. The more places that you can appear on the search engine results, the better. And lastly, and this is something that's come up obviously in the last 10 years, is social media content, right? Having engaging content on social media and things that link back to your website is super important, right? It allows you to come back to, it allows users to be able to come back to your website by actually seeing content that you've created. So again, you're using Karen's example earlier, you know about cars, right? You're posting videos about cars. You're posting Instagram, you tweet. You're on TikTok driving a car. You're on LinkedIn posting long articles around car dealerships and how to buy cars. People will come back to you because you are now being seen as the thought leader. So being a thought leader comes out of you describing your content. So the more content that you put out onto the internet is better for you with your search engine results. Google will take all of that information and say, okay, this is the website that has most relevant information around any of these topics. So we're going to go to that. And just as an example, Crutchfield, which is the site that I was showing you before on that Pioneer page. This is so small because this is how much content they have on their page, right? I couldn't fit it in. It would take me about 5 or 6 slides if I had to show the exact content here. But they have a full description. They have a video about the product. They have reviews. They have details. They have articles. They have a ton of information about this. So if you search for Pioneer DMH, the DNH product, you will get Crutchfield coming up very highly on the search results. All right, some advanced SEO tips. So schema markup, again, this is more coding, but the more information that you can put onto the background of your website, so you can help the search engines know what you're talking about. Things like information about your products, reviews, events information. These are all things that you guys will learn through when you're building your website. Another thing that is very popular is voice search, right? Now you can ask Siri or Alexa or Google Assistant to help you find things. So the more information you put onto your website around and how you write on your website is super important, that these search tools can find the information on there. Also, part of your structure of your website, when you're building your website, you are able to tell Google that you have voice capabilities within the website. And finally, mobile optimization. So again, I've said this earlier, most people use their mobile phones as their primary use of the internet access and search. You want to make sure that your website looks well, it works fast, it's optimized for mobile devices. And make sure that a lot of people are going what they call mobile first. So they're allowing people to, they build their websites by optimizing first for mobile and then for desktop, because they know a lot of their users are using mobile devices. So you tend to rank higher if you can, when you're searching on a mobile phone. One thing that browsers, search engines use right now is that they do know what you're searching on, and your results are different if you're searching on a desktop or mobile, right? So it's very important for you to optimize your sites for those different platforms. All right, guys, any questions? No questions so far. All right. So we have tips for SEO. Are you guys ready for the tips? We're going to go into outer space. Here's a checklist of things that you need to do when you start working on your website. Understand, and the first thing that you have to really understand is that you cannot rank well for everything. I want that to be very clear. You cannot rank well for everything on your website. So what you have to do is you have to pick the content that you want to rank for and optimize around those things. So if you are selling cars, right, you optimize for parts of that website, and you do that by writing content about it, those things, putting video in there, putting social media posts and everything pointing back to those things. But it takes time to plan, right? You have to plan it out. So you now set up your website and you adhere to the basic structure like I just described. So you have to set your titles up, your URLs, your H1 tags, your images, your meta tags, and your content. So you set up your website. Those that's a given. You have to do that. So now, when you set up your website, you have to make sure your content is relevant and clear. You have to also learn copywriting. This is a skill that most people ignore, right? So if you want to learn, either you learn this or you pay somebody to do it for you. But writing compelling content on your website is really important. And a lot of people ignore it. They think that they can just put certain words on your website and assume that people will like it and Google will come and read it and then take it to the next step. But that's not what happens, right? You have to learn to write content that allows people to want to stay. And it's really easy. You can go and, again, use Google, learn how to do copywriting. There's lots of free content on the internet around the basics of copywriting, how to use words to help you attract and retain audience. So the next thing you do is you generate a sitemap. right? So all a sitemap is, it's a list of all the pages on your website. That's all it is. It's really simple. You generate a sitemap. Most of the tools that you use to build websites these days automatically generates a sitemap for you. So things like WordPress, there are plugins that you can do it. Google Sites will create a sitemap for you, generate a sitemap. You use this to tell Google which pages are on your website. The next thing you do is you create a Google search account, a Search Console account, and you submit your website, your sitemap to that. So now you're telling Google, hey, Google, I have a website and this is my sitemap. Come and find me, right? Because again, there are over 50 billion websites in the world, web pages in the world, right? How will Google find you? How will Google know that you exist? The next thing you do again is you install Google Analytics onto your website. Why is that important? Because you need to, SEO is not a thing that you do and then you forget it. You have to constantly monitor what's going on. You have to look at who's coming to your website. You have to look at which pages people are coming on. You have to look at where people are leaving your website, how long they're staying on your website. So using tools like Google Analytics, it really helps you understand, okay, I wrote this post is doing really well, but then I wrote this other post and it's not doing well at all, right? How can I improve? What did I do right on the first one versus the second one that I can improve to generate more content? Create your social media accounts. So you're starting up, you want to go into all these platforms. The first thing you do is grab all these accounts, right? And again, I'm just stealing from Karen a little bit here. And if you look at his last slide, he said, you can find me at any one of these places. My name is Karen Rose on all these platforms, right? So he grabbed all of the links for all those platforms so that he can post to those platforms and get all that links back to his website. So the next thing that you have to do is create a content plan and ensure you generate content on a regular basis. What tends to happen with a lot of the people that we work with and I see is that they will do all of the work from point 1 to point 6. They will do all of those things correctly, and then they never update their content, right? If everybody around you is updating their content, Google will look at their content first and ignore yours. So you need to be consistent with it. Consistency with all of these things is the key to having success. You need to build a plan. You need to stick to your plan. You need to constantly execute against your plan. So building a content plan and saying, okay, today I'm going to post on Instagram. Tomorrow I'm going to post on Twitter. On Wednesday, I'm going to post on LinkedIn. Making sure that you have that plan and you do it consistently and regularly is super important. Another tip that people forget is to contribute to other posts, right? So when you're on LinkedIn, for example, or Facebook or Twitter, a lot of people just consume content. They read what other people have said. They never interact with it. And it's so important that you interact, right? So if you see a topic that you think is important, you reply to that post. And what Google as well and all these other sites will start seeing you as an authority. And being authority is a really important thing with getting links back to your website and getting juice back to your website. Use the Google Keyword Planner tool, right? And also some of the tools that was posted earlier, like I think it's Uber, what was it? Uber something. Use those tools and plan which keywords work well or work best for your category of things, right? And use those to plan your next piece of content. But the key here is to plan. Always plan your content. And monitor your site. That's the last thing on this topic, is people forget to monitor how their site is doing. They don't try to learn, they don't try to improve. All they do is they think that they have to do this thing right? They said they do this thing and then they never focus on it again. It's super important. Uber Suggest, thank you. That's the other one. So use Google Keyword Planner is another tool that you can use, but Uber Suggest is another good tool that that is out there. Both of them are free. Or freemium, I think. So I think you have to pay for additional posts on that one. All right. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is ChatGPT. How many of you have used ChatGPT or attempted to use ChatGPT? Yeah, we have a couple of people. There's a lot of people who still don't know what it is. All right, have you guys been what have you guys been using it for? Homework. That's a good one. As long as it's not programming homework. Doesn't do so good at programming. Building a business, never heard about it. Proofreading, copywriting, never heard of it. Okay, so we have a couple of people who've not heard of it. Text generation, yep. So a lot of those things are really good tools. So for the people who don't know what ChatGPT is a artificial intelligence tool that allows you to ask it questions, right? So it is a search engine, but it's a lot more sophisticated than the way you use Google. So if you type something in Google, it gives you 1 million results. And then you have to go through all those 1 million results to try and understand and find what the answer is, right? Or what you think the answer is. When you type something into ChatGPT, it can understand not just the words that you're asking, but the context that you're asking for, and it will give you a summary of an answer. It is very good for things like copywriting and researching and helping you with the business. As somebody posted there, it's helping them start a business. It's very good for those things, but programming, not so much yet, although it's improving. Now, the way those things work is that it learns. It used Reddit, if you guys know what Reddit is. It used Reddit as a basis to get all of its information. And now it will start crawling all of your websites, right? So crawl your website and start providing information on it. Now, it's important, as you know, one of these slides that I had earlier on Google, you'll see that Google did a summary at the top about the content that was inside of the website. Google is now using some of those tools that ChatGPT has on there to make sure that things are more relevant. So the more information that you have on your website, the better it will be as you go forward, right? So you have to start now trying to understand how to leverage tools like ChatGPT. And a lot of it comes back to content. The more content you produce, the more relevant content you write, the more specific information that you give will make you the thought leader in that space and allow you to become a leader in the search results. Right, somebody's using Midjourney as well for prompts, which is very good. Right, so ChatGPT and Midjourney and all these generative AI stuff is really, really super interesting. And you guys have the benefits, somebody's mentioned this earlier, you guys have the benefits of being at the cusp of that, right? So in the current state of the technology is not, excuse me, 1 second. The current state of the technology is not really great yet, but in 5 years' time, it will be used in so many situations that you know, from answering phone calls to helping you understand information in your businesses. You know, the basic version of ChatGPT kind of connect to the internet, so it kind of tell you real-time information. If you pay for the paid version, you can add a plugin and get real-time information. All of these things are going to be very natural. You need to understand and leverage how these things will work. Don't be afraid of it, but learn how to to master it, right? I think people are getting a lot of people are getting afraid or being afraid that they will lose jobs. This is not an opportunity to lose jobs. It's an opportunity to create jobs, right? You need to look at what are the benefits to you and how we can help you going forward. So one thing to summarize is SEO is not a one-time thing. You have to continue with SEO. For as long as you have a website, you will need to continuously do search engine optimization. Yeah, not quite the Terminator yet, but soon. Skynet is coming for us. So search engine optimization is not a one-time thing. You have to continuously do it, right? You have to look at what's changing. Search engines change, technologies change. You have to continuously work on staying up to date on what is going on and monitoring where you are, because you don't want to fall so far behind that you can't crawl up these listings again. There's lots of resources out there. Again, use the internet, right? Some of the resources that you can see is moz.com has a really, really good learning resource. So if you want to learn SEO from scratch, go to moz.com, look at the free learning resources. Their content is probably second to none when it comes to SEO and things like that. And then SEObility is another really good tool that has some really good introduction stuff. So it helps you understand all the different types of SEO, some of the things that I talked about, because it's just too much for me to cover in about 45 minutes or so. It's just too much for me to cover. And I advise that you guys go out there and learn about it. And then use Google, understand the search engine, go read information. I want to leave one thing with you guys before I open it up for questions. Use use everything that you have at your disposal. If you can get online, you have not only Google to look up and all these free resources on the internet. Somebody talked about mentoring and stuff like that. There's so many places that you can go get mentoring, right? People like myself, I'm always open to answering questions. I started in a little village in Trinidad. I left the country for various reasons, but I always try to give back where I can. And I want to empower Trinidadians and people from the Caribbean to start thinking bigger, right? You no longer have to worry about you being in one place and not being able to have the same opportunity as other people. You can, with technology, you're able to level the playing field, right? So Karen showed you guys how to look at multiple streams of revenue from just, online content and being a mechanic, how you can use tools and leverage tools to generate multiple revenue incomes. But also, you now have the ability to learn from people who have done amazing things, and you can then do even more amazing things, right? You have that ability right now. So questions, any questions? Not getting any questions. Am I that good or am I that boring? One of the two. No questions. All right, guys. So look, if you want to contact me, feel free. Drop me an email at donny@callu.vc. That's my email that I use for non-business related stuff. And then you can visit sixberries.com and contact me that way. But feel free to drop me a note if you need to, and I'll share the slides with TATT so that you guys can have access to it. All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Donnie. I'm seeing in the comment section that a lot of people are saying great presentation. So that means that you were very, very precise in your delivery.
Thank you.
One question coming though, someone is asking, what is Six Berries Limited about?
All right. Okay. So Six Berries. So I started Six Berries. One of my passions is to help. Well, sorry. Let me take a step back. So I my background is in technology. I've been writing code. I know everybody says they hate writing code. I love writing code, right? Like I started writing code in university, and I just love it. I think it's one of the best ways to be creative, right? Like if you see a problem and there's a solution, a digital solution for it, if you have the ability to write code, you can solve it for yourself. You don't need to wait for anybody else to do it for you. And about 10 years ago, I started noticing I started noticing some startups who had problems. They didn't have a technical background, and they went and they found an agency to build something for them, and the agency didn't do it well. So I quit my job. Probably a bad business decision. Don't just quit your job on a hunch. Do some market research first. But I quit my job, and luckily I picked a good market where I worked with founders, so startup founders who weren't technically inclined, and helped them build out their technology. So what Six Berries does now is we will partner with non-technical founders and become their technical co-founders. So we bring in the entire technology team and we help them build their business. So we don't work like a traditional agency where you come into a company and build a product and then leave. We work with them for multiple years. So most of, a lot of our clients stay with us for 5, 6, 7 years, for as long as they need to outsource stuff. So I think the question was, how does it tie into, how does your company's mobile app tie into SEO frameworks? So we actually don't have an app for ourselves. We build other people's apps for them. In terms of the SEO frameworks, so mobile apps, there's two ways, right, to optimize mobile results. One is the app stores. So making sure a lot of the things that I pointed out on the website is the same things that you will point out in your on your app store. So making it the title correct, making sure the writing the title, writing a good description, having a good image, using the right keywords will help you listing in the app store. And then also making sure that your website is good, right? Because a lot of people tend to get to the app from the website. So they will search on Google, they will find the website, they'll click on the app download button from there. I had one question, how to write if the schema description is not listed? How do you write a schema description? I don't think I understand. What do you mean by schema description? I think Arthur is asking that question. Can you clarify a bit, Arthur? Oh, the schema description. Oh, okay. So the schema is not available and you have to do it yourself. So actually in WordPress, there are plugins. So if you actually look for the plugin, so if you look for schema update, you can install a plugin that will allow you to then fill in the information for the schema. So I know in WordPress specifically, there's a plugin for it. Although you can write, if you don't know programming, I would advise not doing it, right? Like use the plugin. If you do know programming, you can write a custom function that will allow you to update the schema. Okay. Great. All right. Any further questions? No worries. No more questions. All right, I think we've covered it now. Okay, I'm not sure if I hit question answered, but for YouTube channels, I don't know if I heard this question being answered, but I need. Oh, sorry, Lionel. I think that particular question is more for Karen because he's a little bit more of an expert. I don't know if he's still online here, but I actually don't know if you can use YouTube or monetize YouTube in Trinidad for US dollars. I think Karen was saying that you could, but I actually don't know the answer to that question, unfortunately. Right. So maybe they can't pay you in US dollars. I don't think you're going to get in trouble. It'll be fine. The worst that can happen is that they won't pay you. But you can use USD. It's fine. Cool. So Antonia, I think it's over to you because I don't think there's any other questions.
Thank you so much, Donnie. Key takeaway for me, content is king and should provide value to your target audience.
Yes.
I hope you guys have taken detailed notes. Thank you, Donnie, for an engaging and enlightening session.
No worries. Thank you.
Yes, man. I hope that all of our participants would leave this workshop feeling more empowered with this new information. Let us offer our respected keynote speakers, Mr. Rose and Mr. Bichan, a round of applause for their significant contribution to today's proceedings. Thank you so much, Donnie. Thank you so much, Karen. Just a reminder though, if you haven't already done so, to undertake the renaming process on Zoom with T or G with a space before your names if you registered for the Thunkable app development or building Google websites respectively to facilitate the breakout rooms to come. Thanks much again for doing so. I will soon turn you over to Mr. Raj Ramdas, Director at RSC, who along with his team is conducting the training on constructing a website using Google Sites and developing a mobile application using Thunkable. So far, I am having a terrific time and I hope that you all are as well. I can assure you that these workshops add to the experience and overall enjoyment of sessions as such as these. And in case you didn't know, we will be giving away some fantastic prizes to participants in each class that fall into the under 18 and over 18 categories. All of you are invited to submit your work. The deadline for submission of your designs for the Unlock Your Potential competition is Sunday, July 16th at 3 p.m. That again, the deadline is on Sunday, July the 16th at 3 p.m. Enter to win some truly fantastic items that will aid in the development of your ICT abilities. Don't overthink it right now. Don't stress. We want you to have the same confidence in yourself that we have in you to innovate and to create. So we invite you to submit, submit, submit. You have nothing to lose and a chance to win a fantastic prize. Remember the deadline, Sunday, 16 July at 3 p.m. We also want you to complete the survey that will be given to you all. And guess what? At the conclusion of the workshop, 2 of you who have completed the survey in its entirety, now you have to follow the survey entirely, yeah, just to stress that point, will each be chosen at random to receive a reward. One participant must be under the age of 18 and the other must be over the age of 18. So a reminder, guys, please follow the survey that will be given to you all. Just a quick reminder, though, that everyone who has attended today's event will be given an e-certificate of participation. So guess what? No one leaves empty-handed. So I thank you guys for listening to me thus far this morning. And now, without any further ado, I turn you over to Mr. Raj Ramdas, the Director of RSC and his team. Mr. Ramdas, over to you.
All right, good morning, everyone. And it's almost lunchtime. It has been such an amazing event so far. I mean, if we, as we say in Trinidad, pack up now, you all had a day's worth. But we are now getting started for the next segment of the program, where now you will be doing hands-on sessions, hands-on training in either app development using Thunkable or building a Google site, a website using Google Sites. So just to reiterate, because I saw a lot of you all did it already, but you need to put in front your name, the letter T. So I'm Raj Ramdas. If I'm doing Thunkable, I'll be T space, and then my name, Raj Ramdas. If you're doing Google Sites, you put G space Google Sites. Now, for those of you who have problems or don't know how to do it, or if you're in an access center and there are people in the access center going into different rooms, make sure put on your headsets now so you're not going to have much feedback. We can assist. At this point in time, we are going to start that process of placing participants in your particular room. Once you get into your room, the first thing I want you to do is get pen and paper. So this is only non-digital part. Get pen and paper, write down the name of your room and your facilitator in the room. You'll see the facilitator names there with FAC. And the reason for that is if you drop for whatever reason during the session and you come back, you will need to know where to go to. There are 3 Thunkable rooms and there are 3 Google Site rooms. For our guests who are here, and so all the different organizations, salutations to everyone, for all our guests, you all will be hoppers, which means that you can hop around to the different rooms and you can actually observe what is happening in the different rooms. But I have one request. If when you go into a room, unless absolutely necessary, let's try not to disturb the activities that's going on. I know you'll be excited to talk to the participants and so on, but we could probably do that in the later sessions. For the participants, I know you already got instructions. There are prizes. When do you do your submission? After the class. But the one that's going to close off today is the random prizes that is going to be done for the surveys. So to all the facilitators and all the participants, the last 10 minutes before we come back to the main room, fill out your survey. And then from that, we will be able to select the prizes. Now, as we're going to start room selection, I know you heard this, but oh God, I got so excited when TATT shared this. I just wanted to share this with you. I mean, I wish I could be a participant. Look at the kind of prizes that you all are going to get in this session today. I mean, it's like really amazing. So all you got to do is submit. You have until tomorrow to submit. I mean, a photography backdrop, a vlogging kit, and everything you see in the pictures, what you're getting, right? This is the over 18, second place, third place. Wow, check this out. This is a vlogging kit. I'm excited about that too. Leona, anyone I'll be happy with, Sherry. Under 18, you're going to get a smartwatch as the first prize. In addition to that, second prize will get a vlogging kit, just like the over 18. And then there's also a third prize. No, not in the other 18. So you want to check, you want to do some work between now, because we don't just want to share information. We would like between today and tomorrow, you can demonstrate some of your skills learned and submit. One last point as we start moving. How do you submit? At the end of the class, you will get a form and you submit. Basically, you've got to put your name under 18 over 18, whether it's Thunkable or Google Site, and then place your link. The judges will now click on your link and be able to observe your particular submission. I don't want to take out too much of your time. It's 11:38. We will actually start training. Let's push it back. I think we're within time. So if Leona, if you can guide here, so we'll start the training at 11:50, yes? And if you're in the centers or wherever, now is the time that you could probably go. It's going to be like a working lunch while we put you into the rooms. You could grab your lunch, grab something to eat, take a little stretch, and we will be going into our respective rooms now. But we will not actually start training until 11:50. All right, so let's say 11:50, 55. Do we have any questions? I know I spoke a lot. I got kicked out of the breakout room. No problem. Just remember which room you're in. You're just gonna go back in. So I'll be taking questions as we go into the breakout rooms. Access centers, you all are in access centers. You are in the group chat, so contact us there. All right, so let's see, kicked out a room. No problem. We'll fix that now. All right, so any other questions? All right, I got kicked. Okay, no problem. We're sorting that now. So we have from now until 11:50, 11:55 to get you into the room. All right, so lots of people are jumping into the room. This is excellent. All right, so if anyone has problems, just let me know. Put it on the chat. There's a tech support team. We have breakout rooms for the classes. We have breakout rooms for tech supports if you're having problems. Can we get the format of the app development indication? Please, definitely you'll get that. Within the class, they will run a video for you at the end, showing you exactly what's required as the format. They will also be showing you all the details, what the judges are looking for also. So Michael, you will get that. Plus, we will put that up in the participants chat. So you'll have it with you over the next 24 hours before you actually submit. We're doing well so far. About 60 people already in rooms, which is good. All right, so let's see what's happening. It's looking good. Format for the app development, yep. All right, so it's been a fantastic day so far. I'm seeing some of the access centers. Maybe let's see if we could highlight some of the access centers here. That's Pinal, so how are we all in Pinal? Give us a little wave out there, Pinal. And I'm also seeing Lisa's Gardens, yep. Lisa's Gardens is with us. All the access centers are with us. So whilst we are waiting to get started with the training, like I said, now is the time to take your stretch, do the washroom. Don is not getting through. Don, what are you not getting through it? If it's to get into a room, you need to put a T or a G in front of your name, Don, so that they will know which one you're in, Thunkable or Google Sites. So for tech support, somebody assist Don. If necessary, pull him into a tech support room and we can guide him there. Numbers looking good so far. An additional 10 went. So let me start calling names. Tech support, you all look at chat, right? So I'm seeing Bryson, B-R-I-Z-A-N. You need to put that letter in front of your name. Clarence. I'm seeing Cleveland Temple SDA Church. If it is you all in a group, please let us know. If you're a single login, it means everybody has to select either Thunkable or Google Sites. So please let us know. Clarence, Skeet, Dana, Don Ross, Jamal. How long is this course going for? The session is going to go until, I think, Kevin guide me, I think 2:45, 2:30, 2:45.
2:30, and then we'll do the wrap up with the
until 2:30. Kevon, Keon, Lionel, come on, you guys need to help us out a bit here. Michael, Nigel, Robert Burton, you're in twice. This is a one-day session. This particular, it's a one-day event today. So this is not like an extended course. It's a one-day event. And if you're interested in further training and additional long-term programs, you can contact TATT. They do have affiliations with us and other organizations that could support you. Come on, Moses, Nigel, Robert, RR, Sheldon. No, Shiva is TATT. Sterling could if you're a guest, or if you're a TATT member, if you could rename yourself also, maybe put TATT next to your name or something, so that tech support won't be trying to move you as a student. So we're doing pretty good so far. Aiden, A-I-D-E-N, Timothy is part of the team. Tenko, Sterling, Jack, Kevin Shivabudu is TATT, right? So we could just put a TATT there. Nigel, Dana, Ryan, Moses. So if you're one of the guests, which breakout room for apps? Okay, RR, what you need to do is put, if you're in app development, put the letter T in front of your name. Put your letter
have
T
your full name as well.
in front of your name. And then, of course, if you want a certificate at the end of the program, they will not issue a certificate as RR. So you got to have your correct name that has to match with your registration form. Right. So let's. Anthony Deonarine, are you a team member? Are you a participant? Bryson, Ethan. Okay, so I'm saying, Kevin, could you help Juran Clark? Juran Clark put the G after the name, so it didn't get placed, so you could just rename him with the G in front. Tech support, Juran Clark, Juron. Okay, thank you much, Silva, Luke Silva, MDT Timothy. Thank you much. Someone is in as RR, but they've been thunkable. So I'm going to put the T in front of your name just to get you into the room. But remember, you will have to rename yourself to your correct name.
So just have a few people who are not moving yet. Akil, if you're hearing us. Dhruv Singh, if you're hearing us. Josiah. You should get if you didn't get yes, just
we are going to open on mute also. So at this point, if you're not getting through, feel free to unmute and ask us questions. As is right now, about 80% of the participants are there, which is good. Akil, Dhruv, and we are trying to sort out a couple again to know where to place you. We have like 10 minutes before classes actually start.
we have people in rooms without a letter in front of them.
Right, so I'm going to try and find them now, right? So we have Gary and Charles. Gary and Charles, can you please identify yourself? Let us know if it's Thunkable or Google Sites, and we would help you. Ian, well, Ian is that. Jamal Romario. Keon, Michael, Moses, Ricky. All right, so it is possible that some of these people, Kevin, are on their lunch break, so they're probably just not at their device at this point in time, which is fine. All right. Updating Gary and Charles. Could we help Gary and Charles?
Hi, Raj. That's an update. Yes. The centers are having lunch.
Okay.
All except for Kumana. Kumana is running a little late, and I'm trying to reach the caterer. Okay.
All right, excellent. So the centers are having lunch.
Yes.
And the rest of you all know is so. Should we start at 12 then, Leona?
The lunch. Oh, for 12 for Kumana.
We are on 11:47. So should I ask the facilitators to hold until 12?
That will be good. Yeah, that should work. I'm gonna answer Sherry now. Okay.
Okay, great. So we are going to give a couple minutes. We're on lunch break right now, and at 12 noon we'll actually start. So facilitators, please note. And so Amrit will queue up a video that he's going to play, and we're going to run that for a couple of minutes, Amrit, and then we'll come back. So meanwhile, if you can hear me, we have Sterling, S. Roach, Moses, Nigel, Kevon, and Jacoby.
Right, so send a message in the broadcast to the rooms to let them know to start at 12.
All right, and we are about to communicate with our facilitators. Let's see what's happening. Kevin, give us an update. Do we still have people who need to get to their respective rooms? I'm still seeing
A lot of people who haven't responded to us to messages or
not
to
a
our
problem.
voices.
So Antonio Jagannath, Harrion Charles, Joshua Moffat, Akil Gray, Rudolph. So could we then, Kev, take one of the 3 rooms and just use it as a delayed room? Gary and Charles, just for the G. So could we get Gary and Charles?
I think Aaron got disconnected again.
No problem. He's back. Garion and Antonio and Joshua. Yeah. So if anyone is having challenges, now is the time. Please let us know, because we are going to get started with the training here. Google Sites, Thunkable. And if you are still here, you are in the wrong place. You need to be in the class, the breakout room classes. So those of y'all who are still here, please communicate with us. I'm seeing somebody coming in as Maracas Access Center. Is there a reason why you're here? Would you be hopping to, you'll see yourself on screen there. Would you be hopping to the breakout room, or you're just on mainstream? Right. Robert, Nigel, Moses, Luke. So if you're here right now, you are in the wrong place. You need to be in a breakout room where the sessions are about to get started. So Antonio, Jagannath, Garion Charles, Keon, Moses. So if anyone is having a challenge in terms of how to move, or you cannot move, or you're having any kind of tech challenges, please let us know right now. Yes, please let us know if you are having problems. So let me check on the access centers. They seem to be doing really well. So Lisa's Gardens is looking good. Let's see, how is Tobago coming along? Tobago, yep, something. Tobago is on there. All right, so again, if you're having problems, you need to go to a breakout room right now. So if this gentleman could help me out here a bit. Sir, you'll be seeing yourself on the screen. Are you in the class, or you just tech support for the center, Marak Access Center? So I think most of our people are in classes, Kevin, with the exception of just a few. Gary,
Yeah, those people probably just stepped away or
yeah.
disconnected or having challenges. All right, so
So if there's anyone here with a challenge, please, you need to go to a breakout room. Please inform us and we will be able to support. So again, just a reminder, if you are actually in this room, if you are hearing my voice at this point in time, it means you're in the main room. You need to go to a breakout room. You would have been invited to go to the breakout room. If you cannot do so for whatever reason, please let us know by either unmuting and asking or putting a request in chat, and we will support. There's a tech support team here. All right. And I'm seeing room 2 is up and running, which is excellent. If anyone is having a challenge, now is the time, just please let us know.